YouTube, my new family, what is going on? Daniel here for another video for the channel. As you can see behind me, I'm somewhere outside of Canada. I'm in a place called Malicong. I'm in Guayaquil, Ecuador, and I'm here to surprise my grandfather actually for his birthday and spend time with family. I haven't been here in like 9 years, and also here to share some news, you can say, some updates, and also set myself free because the point of this channel is setting people free, setting myself free to help others set themselves free through asking the right questions, not looking at the ego but looking at the soul, and liberating people, because people believe liberation is tied to a number financially or maybe romantically, number of women or whatever it is, number of places you visit. But liberation and freedom is spiritual, and I'm seeing this more and more. I feel very good right now. I feel very in peace, and essentially God has blessed me with some things. God bless me every day because I get the day. I get to still walk, still talk, still speak, still hear, still have the people I love around me, still get to grow, still get to train, still get to raise my frequency with the right choices. But God essentially blessed me with someone I believe is my angel, someone that I've known for a bit, but through guidance from my brother, my mentor Mike, I've seen that it's a soul connection, something that I've reacted to, and didn't know how to really conceptualize it or understand what was happening. But every time I saw her, I always felt something different, and it was my soul speaking to me. And essentially, recently, I decided to approach her, tell her how I felt, and now we're in a position where we're getting to know each other, and seeing where things go. But essentially, my ego was playing a big part of it because she's actually older than me. It's something that's very new to me, but it's perfect because God brought her to me. And like I said, since 13, 14 months now, I've been putting in the work to remove the feelings that I thought were real. I used to have relations for feelings, dating younger women, women of different, a certain size, certain way she does things, you could say physically, sexually even maybe. And I always thought that was what it was, you get a feeling from one girl, but maybe that evaporates and you get a feeling from someone else. Maybe she does something else physically or attractive, whatever it is. So, I was always seeking the flesh. I was always seeking a feeling from the flesh. But this connection is a soul connection because just even hearing her voice and speaking with her over audio or, text, especially audios, my body feels it. Like literally, the best way to explain it is like I get, aroused by the frequency of, her voice, her energy. And it's crazy. It sounds like I'm making this up, but really it happens, and it happens more often than it seems real. Like even at the gym, you're just like, what's going on here? Like you're listening and this is weird, But yeah, I mentioned that there's devils with it. One being, the age difference. I don't want to spill too much about her because she's someone that's a bit more private, and I respect that. That's going to help me grow, and I as well, the way I am, sharing everything, being honest, is going to help her grow, and I believe that's why it's a perfect match. But you could say it's older than I'm used to, and I have to kind of say it because there's a devil with it, but it's 2 decades older, and it's perfect. It's something that tests my ego, tests if I really practice what I preach. I talk about the flesh not being real, and soul matters, but God really gave me the test, and he gave me the connection, and yeah, I mean, I see her as a soul. It's crazy because in this path I've met people like age is no number, really is a number. I've met 80-year-old people with nothing. I mean, I guess you could say financially nothing, that are more alive than 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds that have Ferraris, Lamborghinis, mansions, because life and vibrancy and actually being alive and living this life is spiritual. It doesn't matter. You can't buy life with external things, with flesh. More flesh you have does not mean more life. I was reading a passage today in the Bible, and it explains that if you want to have life, you need to find your spirit. You need to connect with Jesus. You need to realize that is the truth, the way, the life. We're sold that you can get a feeling from more external things, and that's life, but it's not life. That's feelings. That's the devil. Life is spiritual. The more you liberate yourself spiritually by speaking honestly, telling people where you're at, not being not falling into the stories that the devil wants you to say of, oh, you can't say that, or don't mention her, how old she is, or don't mention this or whatever it is. But it's all fake. I'm here to lead that new way of being, that new way of living, because the world teaches us that it's all about feelings. Traveling, the feeling of going over there and taking a picture by that plant and that statue, and then going over here and eating some ice cream, and the feeling of that because I'm in Ecuador, and the feeling that ice cream is different here, and the feeling of that, and then I can see somebody, someone beautiful over here, and the feeling of being with her, and it's fake. You have to realize that we're here to experiment with our flesh. Of course, our flesh is real, and you can even get stories about your flesh. I made a video about this, but the psoriasis is still there, and it's going to go away. But while it's here, I kiss it. It's part of me. I'm not going to make stories and say, oh, I can't be here because I'm on vacation, and what they're going to say and all this stuff. If you believe your nose is too small or too big, or your forehead, or I don't know, whatever it is, part of your body, it's a test. You have to accept that devil, and that's how you grow. But essentially, I wanted to make this video to kill that devil that wants to not speak about it, that wants me to keep it secret because of the age difference, and what people are going to say, and oh my God, what if they see me with her, and this and that, and whatever it is. Guys, it doesn't matter. When you have a soul connection, it's you and her, or you and that person, man or woman. It does not matter the external world. You can't have a relationship for the world, or else you're never going to feel a soul connection. Because, like I said, I've done relationships for the world. You hook up with a girl and your boys are clapping, oh, this is a baddie, she's hot, and all this stuff. But there's no connection. So why does it matter? Soul connection, 1 year in a soul connection is worth 5 decades in flesh, because you're just exchanging information and feelings. There's no soul connection. Like I said, she's not with me here, but I speak with her, and it's like she's here, it's like I'm there hugging her. And even we had our moment, we really solidified all this that's happening. There's no age. There's no age. I'm holding her, I'm kissing her, and it's there's no age. Really, it's soul to soul connection. And we've been lied to, and even me, my ego, has been lied to for so long. And like I said, I was in the whole dating scene, so even this for me, I say, is very new, because I've always tried to control the people I'm with, and they have to look this way, and be this tall, and this and that, and whatever it is. But it's God has given me a connection. So if I'm trying to do that, it's no, God, I've been here 13 months, doing everything, growing with you spiritually, and even praying to have a connection where I'm strong enough to actually have it. But you know what? Because of the age, you're actually wrong on this one. You built the world in 7 days, and you have everything running perfectly, and everything's the way it's supposed to be. You brought down a perfect being to show us how to live, but you're actually, for this one, you actually did it wrong. I'm gonna handle this one. You let me do it. It's fake, guys. It's fake. You have to realize that if it's for you, you have belief in it. The story's gonna try to kill you and say that the fear of this. What are they gonna say? Control that, this, that, and it's frequency as well. So that's why I talk about, we have our church call faith and frequency, because you can have faith, but your frequency determines where you're at. If you're in low frequency, you're in stories, you're trying to control, you're in your head, you're trapped, you believe the stories, you want to change something, you want a feeling. That's low frequency. When you're high frequency, which I am right now, I feel very good, I feel very in peace. I didn't even need to make this video. I used to actually make it before, but I needed to do it because I know when I get in lower frequency or something happens, that the devil's going to use these things that I'm telling you guys right now. And that's why I need to make it. And also, she's going to watch and she's going to grow, because anybody that's with me, it could sound like ego, it could sound like I'm full of myself, but you guys grow. The closer you get to me, the closer you grow, whether you're soulmate, whether you're, someone that's, I want to say friends, because I've let go of a lot of people, not because they're, I'm better than them, not because of anything, better than them, or I don't know, they're nice, but there's a frequency in wanting to grow. That is what I look for. If you don't want to grow spiritually, then unfortunately, the thing friend is, not something that I really, kind of have. I want people that want to grow. She wants to grow, I want to grow. I feel it. I feel everywhere that she wants to grow, and that's what gets me, say, aroused, or gives me energy, because I feel she wants to grow, and that's a frequency. You wanting to grow spiritually and letting go of your ego is a frequency. The same frequency as accepting. It's the same frequency as love. It's the same frequency as gratitude. Those are high frequencies. You wanting to grow and shed your ego and knowing that you have more to grow into and become is a frequency. So it's something that's really crazy. And I know it's the person because I only see growth for me and her, and I feel the connection. I can, like I said, there's a bunch of flesh women everywhere you can have. As a man or as a woman, you can look at men and the money they make, whatever it is. But if your soul is not connected to them, like I said, you can't speak to them and you get some kind of energy from it. And it's not something sexual we talk about. Like I said, it's not like she's sending me WhatsApp saying, I want you to put me this way and that way. We're speaking, we're getting to know each other. She's giving me frequency and I get aroused from that. If you don't have that, or you don't see yourself growing yet, you can't talk about growth, then it's not really, for you, like, you're gonna just because of flesh, just disregard growth, spiritual growth, disregard, if you go to heaven or hell, or disregard your path because of flesh, because her boobs are a certain size, or her ass looks this way, or whatever it is, like, that's where you're gonna put over your spiritual growth and following your path and giving faith to the world and, being a vessel for the person that brought you here. And yeah, it's like you're trying to control relationships and saying, like I said, going back to like, no, God, like you give me this connection here and I feel it more, but because of the flesh, I'm gonna go with this one. So you're wrong here. You're wrong. Everything is all the signs that it's a soul connection, but you know what? I'm gonna go with this one because the world likes her more, and maybe she's younger or whatever it is. But guys, your soul is what matters in this life. That's why I make this channel. That's why it's my second video speaking, but I had to do this because, I'm not sure when I'll be able to interview because I want to keep this in English, but it's God's plan. Even being here, who knows what happens? Like, you never know what happens. I don't want to put, okay, in 2 days I'm going to do this, in 3 days that. I just live moment to moment. I'm enjoying walking around here. I'm enjoying being alive. I just had a great meal, had a steakhouse restaurant, enjoying that, sent that, share that with people that are in my circle. And now I'm here making this video, and then I'm going to probably connect with her more and then keep growing there and just sending her frequency, sending her love, sending her, wisdom, because that's, like I said, when you're with me, you don't stop growing. And it sounds like ego, it sounds like I'm fooling myself, but it's true. Like, I don't look at you as flesh or as ego. Like, you can see yourself as ego and you can see, you can relate to your stories, but I don't see that. So whenever you're with me, especially like romantically, like, your ego does not have rest. Like, I attack it. Like, okay, you could say one thing to me, but it's actually this. Like, like I feel it. And you grow, and you could be like, you could say it's difficult, or you can even be mad at me, but your soul knows the truth. So your soul will know the truth, and you'll get energy from it, but your ego will be hurt. So it'll create defensive mechanisms like stories that, oh, he's, whatever it is, this, that, it's fake. So this video is just had to happen. It's even for, I'm not going to mention her name out of privacy, but she's going to watch it. I'm going to give it to her, and everything that we believe is real in our heads is fake. And I'm going to keep making these videos. I'm going to keep interviewing people, opening souls up, and getting them to the only kingdom that matters. And you guys will see how I grow. She'll see how I grow. Everyone will see how I grow. And it's something that I want, that connection, but I even told her I don't need it. It's something that I've come to a place where I don't get a feeling from it. I'm not like, oh, I need to see you and I miss you so much and I can't sleep because you're not beside me and oh my God, this and that. No, I'm strong enough spiritually to love myself, respect myself, admire myself, and not give it a feeling. I get frequency from it, which is bigger than feelings. And I'm able to enjoy it. Like, if I have to be here, perfect. I enjoy family. When I see her, I'll enjoy her. And that's the way it is. You don't have to give a feeling to the person you're with in the honeymoon phase. And I want to have sex with you this way and that way and put you in this position and in this place and all this stuff. I follow the Bible, so I'm Christian. I don't, it's until marriage that I wait. So, I follow the word. But when I was in feelings, I'm giving you an example of how I thought, and how my mind was working. That was how my mind was working, just feelings like, oh my God, I can't wait to see you because of this, and I want to try this with you, and the feeling of this together, and traveling here and going there, and you give a feeling to something before it even starts, but you don't get energy from it. So you get a feeling, but you don't get frequency, and you believe it's real. But frequency is real, energy is real. So yeah, guys, crazy how life works, how fast life can change. Really, you believe things can take a certain amount of time, but it's all happened in a matter of days. And like I said, it's something that I've been working towards myself, And I haven't thought about it. I haven't forced it. I simply just worked on myself and started attracting more, getting to a higher frequency. And yeah, now I'm in a place where I can enjoy somebody that, we both have wisdom, we both can grow, and most importantly, we both connect. So it's God's plan. And like I said, I make this example because that's the best way to see it. Like God has something for you, but you believe you know better than the person that put you here, the person that has you, blinking, looking at this video, hearing this video, or, scrolling, be able to use your hands. You believe you know more than the person that brought you here and knows your purpose. You're like, yeah, you know what? I've only been here 30 years, but I know more than you, like you've been here, you've created everything around us, but you know what? I know I got this one. That's essentially ego. That's essentially what ego is. So I give you that, visual representation so you guys know. And I even do it to myself sometimes. Like, my coach does it to me, and that's how I grow. And now we're here enjoying, I'm in peace, love, and yeah, it's crazy. So thank you guys. Hope you guys got some wisdom from this. If you guys have a connection, follow that. No matter what the world says, no matter how crazy it seems, if your soul lights on fire and you get energy and frequency, does not matter the age. Of course, there's age of consent, and you can't be like, okay, she's 10 years old, but no, guys. Like, if they use a bit of, there's also morale and stuff like that. But if it's, beyond your scope of control, that's the one, that's like perfect. See, there's no control. Soul connection, there's no control. It's not like you have it figured out and, she's this way and that way. And, this like, you just have faith. So yeah. If you guys enjoyed, more videos will be coming. My personal channel as well, I'm going to include it here because you have a lot of wisdom there of, me doing this over and over for, like I say, months. That's why I said I worked 13 months, 14 months for this, making videos over and over, shedding more and more fear, more stories. So the videos I have to make, there's no other choice. This is my life now. And, I help other people grow with it. And like I said, people are close to me. If you want to get closest to me, you have my Telegram community. That's where you can, really follow my lifestyle, the 0.01% lifestyle that helps you grow. You can get close to me for coaching. I do one-on-one coaching. And you also have the Facebook group. So you can see updates. I'm going to post updates on the church, Faith and Frequency. That's every Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. European time. And, you just give faith and frequency, and it's not about who shows up. It's about us staying aligned and giving you guys the wisdom for the day. I see it almost like a television, like radio station. Like, the radio station gives you the news for the day. We give you the frequency and the wisdom for the day. And like I said, it could sound like ego, could sound like I'm full of myself, but this is probably the most empowered I've been in a long time because of the work I put in, and I'm starting to recognize what's real and what's not, And for a long time I thought what was real before, what I realized is fake now was real before. So I followed all these feelings. I lost myself in so many different things. And now I see that it's the devil trying to take you away, because if something's pure, like what I mentioned, the person I've met, and it's pure and it's meant to be, the devil is going to attack you more and say, no, you can't do this. And the person, give you stories of the past, and he's going to hurt you this way, or they're going to hurt you that way. And what about this person? What about your family? What are you going to say? And blah, 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 whatever. It's fake. So realize that, I make this for you guys. I also have to be an example and, practice what I preach. So that's why I do this. And I really believe I'm here to set souls free, help Jesus set souls free. I even told her that. And, I even asked her to have faith in me. That's all she needs. And then we'll go literally to the top. So much love, guys. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Comment below as well if you have something right now that, you want to face. Like I said, if you want to get closest to me, you have my Telegram community. You can ask me questions there. You have my Facebook. It's more for updates, but you can also, see the wisdom that I post on there and connect with me there. But, you have to get close to the people that you see or you get energy from, get frequency from, get wisdom from. Not a feeling, I can show you a Lamborghini and you'd be like, yeah, guys, follow me. In 10 months you'll have a Lamborghini, but it's a feeling. You're just chasing a feeling. If you get frequency from this video, then that's a sign. Like I said, if you get frequency from someone you're with, that's a sign. Does not matter the age, but like I said, of course, use common sense. There's things as well, but like I said. Anyways, God bless, guys, and enjoy the rest of this trip. And guys, God is perfect. God is real. And like I said, you trying to control what he has for you is, like I said, disrespecting him, disrespecting everything he's done for you, and you believing like, no, I got this, no, it's okay. Like, trust me. If you don't take the step, you will never live aligned and in peace. If you choose flesh over connection and frequency, you will not live in peace. No matter how hot that person is or the status, whatever it is, if it's not the person for you, you will not have peace. You will chase a feeling with them, and then when that feeling evaporates, because it's going to evaporate, you're going to chase a feeling beyond them. Maybe it's drugs, maybe it's drinking, maybe it's vices, maybe it's traveling. You're going to try to escape with a feeling, but realize feelings are fake. It's frequency, it's energy, it's soul connection, and it's real. You can have multiple soulmates, you know, it's not just a man and woman. You can have, you know, I believe my mentor is my soulmate because I just connect with him at a spiritual level, and it's not that I want to be with him because that's the devil. You know, the feeling of being gay is also the devil. It's like wanting to be an alligator or wanting to be a cat when you're a human. It's a feeling, you just act on it. But yeah, it's, you can go into a whole different video, but essentially, yeah guys, you have the place to be close to me, Telegram, and Facebook and everything like that. I have people looking at me right now as I'm making the video because I'm speaking in English in their country, but it's perfect. Anyways, God bless guys, much love. Until next time, give her a soul, believe in it, have faith in it, and keep killing it.